What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Let's start it with our first news. UFC veteran and former light heavyweight champion Glover Teixeira recently expressed mixed feelings about rising star Khamzat Chimaev during an interview on the UFC Glory Days podcast with RJ Clifford. While Teixeira was quick to acknowledge Chimaev's undeniable skill and charisma, he didn't hold back from voicing his concerns about the Chechen-Swedish fighter's approach to training, particularly his choice of sparring partners. Teixeira began the discussion by giving Chimaev credit for his explosive fighting style and competitive spirit. He described Khamzat as a fighter who not only talks a big game but consistently backs up his words inside the octagon. "He's a great fighter," Glover said. "I like the way he talks, and he backs it up. Every time he fights, he proves that he's one of the most talented athletes in the UFC today. He's exciting, confident, and always comes to put on a show." However, Teixeira also revealed that there is one major aspect of Chimaev's training routine that he finds troubling. The veteran Brazilian, known for his old-school work ethic and disciplined training philosophy, said he disapproves of Chimaev's tendency to spar against opponents who, in his view, are far below Chimaev's level of skill and experience. "One thing that I probably don't like about him," Teixeira explained, "is that sometimes he spars with guys who are not on his level. I've seen him in the gym sparring with people that he completely dominates, and it just doesn't seem like a productive or fair way to train. He's too good for some of those guys, and that kind of sparring doesn't help him or them." Teixeira went on to emphasize that sparring should be a tool for growth, not domination. He believes that challenging training partners push a fighter to evolve and prepare for the elite competition that exists in the UFC. "When you spar with people at your level or even higher, that's when you really improve," he said. "You learn how to adapt, how to deal with pressure, and how to fix mistakes. If you're constantly sparring people that you can easily beat, you don't get tested the way you should." Despite his criticism, Teixeira maintained a tone of respect throughout the conversation. He reiterated that Chimaev's fighting ability, discipline, and confidence are impressive, and he acknowledged the excitement that the welterweight contender brings to the sport. "He's amazing, no doubt about that," Glover said. "He's great on the microphone, great in the cage, and people love watching him fight. I just think he'd benefit more if he trained with tougher partners. That would help him reach an even higher level." Teixeira's comments reflect a broader concern shared by many in the MMA community, that some rising stars, while talented, may not be getting the kind of resistance in training that truly sharpens their skills. Coming from a fighter who has spent decades competing at the highest level, his words carry weight. In the end, Glover's critique wasn't meant to tear Chimaev down but to offer constructive advice from one veteran to another. He sees immense potential in Chimaev and believes that refining his training approach could make him an even more dangerous and well-rounded fighter in the years to come. Before we jump into the next story, we have a small favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon. It really helps us out, and ensures you'll never miss an update. Moving on to another news. UFC superstar Alex Pereira recently made headlines after leaking direct messages with fellow fighter Pereira-Buckley, bringing to light a potential matchup that was originally discussed back in early 2022 but never came to fruition. The exchange, which dates back to the time of the UFC's first ESPN card of that year, reignited a conversation about what could have been an explosive middleweight clash. The story began in January 2022, when Buckley was scheduled to face Abdul Razak Al Hassan. However, just weeks before the bout, Al Hassan was forced to withdraw due to a shoulder injury. According to Buckley, he immediately asked the UFC for a replacement opponent so he could stay on the card. The promotion, in turn, reportedly offered him Alex Pereira, who was just beginning his UFC journey after transitioning from a decorated kickboxing career. Buckley recalled the situation in detail during an interview, explaining how his management team initially appeared hesitant about the matchup. "They called me up and said Abdul pulled out of the fight," Buckley said. "I told them, don't push the date back, just find me another fighter. I don't care who it is. My manager at the time, Brian, called back sounding nervous. Before he even said the name, I had a feeling. I said, is it Alex Pereira? He was shocked that I guessed it. Despite the clear risk of facing a dangerous and relatively unknown opponent at that time, Buckley claims he accepted the challenge without hesitation. I told him, I'm a dog, man. I've got to eat. Let's do it. I was ready to fight Pereira and honestly, my plan was to knock him out, Buckley said. But shortly afterward, he was informed that Pereira's camp had declined the fight, citing a lack of preparation time. They said Alex and his coaches didn't feel ready on short notice, Buckley added. Fast forward to today, and Alex Pereira has reignited the conversation by leaking a set of private DMs exchanged between him and Buckley back in 2022. In the messages, Pereira appears to respond directly to Buckley with a dismissive tone, writing, "Why did you send me this post? Of the 15 that ran, you were the first. Now go back to the end of the line." The message implies that Pereira felt Buckley had backed away or wasn't worthy of a fight at the time, even though Buckley's version of the story suggests otherwise. The leaked messages sparked renewed interest in what would have been an intriguing matchup between two dynamic strikers. However, as of now, that fight is clearly off the table. Both men have since gone in completely different directions in their careers. Pereira has skyrocketed to superstardom, becoming a two-division UFC champion, first at middleweight, then at light heavyweight, and is now teasing a potential move to heavyweight. Meanwhile, Buckley has dropped to welterweight, where he has shown flashes of brilliance but is coming off a tough loss to former champion Kamaru Usman earlier this year. At 38 years old, Alex Pereira's UFC career is likely entering its final stretch, and he's now focused solely on high-profile fights that enhance his legacy. The leaked DMs with Buckley serve as a reminder of just how far Pereira has come, from a newly signed prospect in 2022 to one of the biggest stars in the sport today. While the long-discussed Pereira vs. Buckley matchup will likely never happen, fans can't help but imagine what might have been if the UFC had managed to make it official back then. Two explosive knockout artists, both with something to prove, meeting in the octagon before their careers went in entirely different directions. Moving on to another news. Former UFC light heavyweight champion Quinton "Rampage" Jackson has never been one to hold back his opinions, and his latest idea has the MMA world buzzing. During a recent episode of the Jackson podcast, where he was joined by TJ Dillashaw and Bobby Green, Rampage proposed a dramatic overhaul of the UFC's current fighter bonus system. His suggestion? Increase the "fight of the night" bonus to a staggering $1 million. Rampage's comments came in light of the UFC's newly announced $7 billion broadcast deal with Paramount+, a massive agreement expected to bring significant financial growth to the promotion. However, despite this influx of revenue, the UFC has yet to publicly confirm any changes to fighter pay or bonus amounts. Currently, bonuses such as Fight of the Night and Performance of the Night typically sit at $50,000, an amount that has remained unchanged for years, despite the organization's booming profits. "If I was a promoter and I had the kind of bankroll the UFC has," Rampage began, "I'd increase the Fight of the Night bonus big time. They just made $7 billion with that new rights deal. If I were them, I'd make the bonus $1 million. That's life-changing money for a lot of these fighters." Rampage went on to explain that such a move wouldn't just reward athletes more fairly but would also improve the entertainment value of UFC events. "A $1 million bonus would make these guys go all out," he said. "You'd get more excitement, more action, fighters would be leaving everything in that cage. And honestly, the UFC could afford it. $2 or $3 million extra per event is nothing compared to what they're making now." His co-hosts, former bantamweight champion TJ Dillashaw and fan-favorite lightweight Bobby Green, quickly agreed. Green, known for his gritty, high-volume fighting style, emphasized how a $1 million bonus could completely change the mentality of many fighters. "That's life-changing," Green said. "That's what I'm fighting for, the chance to change my life. A bonus like that is bigger than a lot of fighters' actual paychecks. That would give people real motivation to perform." Dillashaw echoed the sentiment, pointing out that fighters often take enormous risks for relatively modest paychecks compared to other professional athletes. When you think about the amount of damage fighters take and the entertainment they bring, $1 million bonus isn't crazy, Dillashaw added. That kind of reward would inspire fighters to take more chances and put on real shows for the fans. Rampage concluded by emphasizing that the UFC's success has always been built on the sacrifices of its fighters, and that now is the time to give back. The UFC's making record-breaking profits because of these athletes. Without them, there's no show, he said. If you want to keep getting Fight of the Year performances, start giving out life-changing bonuses. His idea has since sparked a wave of discussion online among fans and fighters alike. Many agree that the current bonus structure is outdated and fails to reflect the modern financial landscape of the UFC. Others, however, argue that while $1 million prize sounds appealing, it might not be sustainable long-term. Regardless of where fans stand on the issue, Rampage Jackson's proposal shines a spotlight on a long-standing debate in MMA, fighter pay and recognition. With the UFC's ever-expanding financial success, the question remains: is it finally time for the promotion to reinvest more of its fortune into the athletes who make it all possible? Moving on to another news. UFC legend Jon "Bones" Jones has once again taken his trolling of Tom Aspinall to new heights, quite literally. The former light heavyweight and current heavyweight champion showed off his trademark sense of humor at the Dirty Boxing 4 weigh-ins in Nashville, Tennessee, where he arrived on horseback. But this wasn't just any grand entrance. The horse was wearing an eye patch, a direct jab at Tom Aspinall's recent eye poke controversy from UFC 321. For those who missed it, Aspinall's last bout ended in controversy after an accidental eye poke caused a fight stoppage, sparking heated debates across the MMA community. While some defended Aspinall, calling the incident purely accidental, others, including Jon Jones, saw an opportunity to poke fun at the situation. Just days prior, Jones had already made headlines by changing his Twitter profile picture from an image of a duck to a duck wearing an eye patch, clearly mocking Aspinall's situation. Fans quickly caught on to the joke, flooding social media with memes and reactions. However, Jones wasn't done yet. At Friday night's event, he took his trolling to the next level with a live, public stunt that had the MMA world buzzing. As cameras rolled, Jones rode into the arena on a large white horse, confidently smiling as fans erupted in laughter and applause. The twist? The horse had a black eye patch strapped over one eye, an unmistakable reference to the Aspinall incident. In a brief interview with the Schmo, Jones playfully called attention to the gag. "Whoa, we got a horse, but he can't see out of one eye," Jones joked, clearly enjoying himself as the crowd cheered. "How do you top an entrance like this for the White House card? We got the horse, we got the eye patch, it's showtime, baby." The two shared a quick laugh before Jones wrapped up with his signature charisma. "I'm excited to be here, man," he said. "What's up, Nashville? We're doing it big tonight. Let's get this party started." The clip of Jones' entrance quickly went viral online, with fans and fighters alike reacting to the playful jab. Some praised Jones for his creativity and sense of humor, while others accused him of going too far with the trolling. Still, most agreed that the stunt was classic, Bones, equal parts mischievous and entertaining. Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall have been at odds for months, trading jabs online ever since Aspinall began calling for a heavyweight title unification bout. While Jones has repeatedly dismissed Aspinall's challenges, he's made it clear that he enjoys keeping the rivalry alive, if only for laughs. At this point, it's hard to say whether Jones' trolling is all in good fun or part of a larger psychological game. Either way, it's undeniable that he knows how to keep the spotlight firmly on himself. With his theatrical antics and sharp wit, Jon Jones once again proved that he remains one of the most polarizing and entertaining personalities in all of MMA. As for Aspinall, he has yet to publicly respond to the eye patch horse stunt, though fans are already anticipating his next move. One thing's for certain, the rivalry between Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall is far from over, and Jones seems to be having the time of his life keeping it alive. Moving on to another news. In one of the most unexpected stories to surface recently, Olympic wrestling legend Abdulrashid Sudaliv revealed that Khabib Nurmagomedov once proposed to UFC President Dana White the idea of a super fight against Jon Jones, with a purse of only $500,000. The revelation, which came during a recent interview, has since sent shockwaves across both the wrestling and MMA communities, sparking curiosity and laughter in equal measure. According to Sudaliv, the offer came up during a lighthearted conversation between himself, Khabib, and Dana White. The discussion was initially casual, but things took a surprising turn when Khabib decided to throw out a spontaneous proposal. Sudaliv recalled the exchange in detail. "A while ago, I was talking to Khabib, and he happened to be sitting next to Dana White," Sudaliv said. "I joined the conversation, and Khabib suddenly said, 'Come on, let's do a fight.' I asked, 'Against who?' and Khabib replied, 'What's the difference?' 'Against whoever.' I laughed and said, 'Well, it does make a difference. Who am I fighting, and what's the pay?' That's when Khabib made his now viral offer. He said, $500,000. And then he told me, Jon Jones. I was like, wait, Jon Jones? $500,000 for that? That's not serious," Sudaliv continued with a smile. "I told them they were undervaluing me. We joked about it, and I said I'd think about it. But the next day, I saw the news that Jon Jones announced his retirement, and I thought, maybe we shouldn't have had that conversation at all." The lighthearted story quickly caught fire online, with fans amused by the idea of Sudaliv, widely regarded as one of the greatest freestyle wrestlers of all time, being matched up with the UFC's most dominant champion in history. The proposed $500,000 purse, however, raised plenty of eyebrows, especially considering Jones' status as one of the sport's highest-paid athletes. Jones, who has frequently teased retirement in recent years, did indeed post a cryptic message about stepping away from the sport shortly after the alleged conversation. While it's unclear if the two events were connected, fans have been quick to tie the two stories together for comedic effect. Sudaliv's revelation also highlights the deep connections between the Dagestani combat sports scene and the UFC. Khabib Nurmagomedov, now retired from fighting, has taken an active role in mentoring and promoting fighters from his region. His close friendship with both elite wrestlers and MMA fighters makes him a unique bridge between two of the world's most competitive combat disciplines. While the idea of Abdulrashid Sudaliv fighting Jon Jones is obviously far-fetched, the hypothetical matchup has fueled fan debates. Many have speculated how a wrestling legend of Sudaliv's caliber would fare against Jones, who is known for his elite grappling and wrestling defense. Some fans even called it the ultimate grappler versus mixed martial artist fantasy fight. Even though the $500,000 figure was likely mentioned in jest, Sudaliv's story shines a humorous light on how Khabib continues to mix his passion for combat sports with his playful personality. For Jon Jones, the timing of his supposed retirement announcement added an ironic twist to an already entertaining tale. In the end, while the proposed Sudaliv vs. Jones fight will almost certainly never happen, the story serves as another reminder of the quirky, unpredictable world of MMA, where even a friendly chat between legends can spark headlines, fan theories, and laughter across the entire combat sports community.